Welcome to Taboo Talk, Season 2, Episode 1. I'm your host, Tiffany Ramm, also known as TiffTalkTV. And for those of you who are new to Taboo Talks, we are a show dedicated to creating a safe space to have courageous conversations about some of society's most taboo topics. And today's topic is social media community guidelines. Are they a ruse to silence social media activists and content creators of color? For many, it feels that way, as content creators of color have felt like their content is under attack. And today with us, we have special guest, Ty Davis, an actress, a comedian, and radio show host extraordinaire. Hey, Ty. Right, with the yellow. All right. And then this man has so many titles. I'm gonna try to do him justice. You might know him as like the creative director and producer of things like Dad Jokes and Roast Me. He also has his own line, Protect Your Light, which is killing the game. Music producer, musician, just, really, and a content creator on like every platform I've ever heard of to man. So these two are really experts. Welcome, Patrick Cloud.
Thank you. That was pretty good. That was a great intro. Thank you.
Thanks. So I follow both of you, and that's why I chose you for this topic, because I know so many content creators of color feel very under attack. Because they feel like the content that's getting flagged as violations aren't actually violations. I have watched both of you go through this struggle, but for those listening and or watching who maybe don't know who you are, which would be a tragedy, but they might not. Can you start by just telling us, you guys, like what platforms are you on and roughly like how many followers do you have? Ty, if you want to start.
Sure. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and now Fanbase.
Hey.
New to that. On Instagram, I have about 38,500 followers. On TikTok, I have like 25,000 followers. I have two Facebook pages. So I've got a fan page and then my personal page. The fan page, I got like 3,000. I don't be on there like that. My YouTube channel, I have like over 3,000 followers, and on Fanbase, I've got like 95 followers, and I just started that like a week and a half ago. So
what's Fanbase?
Roughly, I would say 60.
That question, Patrick. We gonna come back to that, Patrick, because I have a feeling our conversation gonna lead right to what is Fanbase. So
okay,
we gonna pocket. You gonna put that in our little pocket, table that for later. Okay. Because we gonna get there. But Patrick, what about you? Where are you? How many followers do you have?
I would say I'm mainly on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. My Instagram is my most popular. I think I'm around 340 something. I think 348. My YouTube and Facebook.
Pause. People are going to hear you say 348, Patrick. Add a comma and 3 zeros after that. Patrick has about 300,000 followers.
348,000. Sorry. Sorry. Thank you, Tiff. And then YouTube and Facebook, I've been going pretty hard on for the past year. I'm kind of going on between 260, 270 on each. And then TikTok, I don't know. TikTok, is a love-hate relationship, but it's a nice crowd there, and they're completely different. I'm 168,000 on TikTok. And then TikTok. I'm on the TikTok. On the TikTok.
Right.
Those are the main ones.
The math, you're probably nearing somewhere around 1 million followers if you added them all together. You think?
Yeah.
Or maybe closing up to it. Yeah.
Okay. So
I never thought of that.
Right. Look at you, be big. Okay. Be great. Well, the question then is, Ty, are you monetized on any of your platforms?
Yeah, so I'm monetized on Instagram, which is the one that I'm the heaviest on. My IGTV and my Instagram lives are monetized. And on Fanbase, which I'm monetized on that. And someone told me that I'm monetized on YouTube, but I haven't really done anything with it. But Instagram is where most of my money comes in, a little change.
Right? Come on, monetization. Okay. And Patrick, are you monetized?
Yeah, I actually I'm monetized. I think the most would be YouTube and Facebook. I guess I left out Twitch. Twitch is another one, which is mainly like the gaming side of things. So that's also monetized. I haven't monetized my Instagram. I haven't gotten the feature to do IGTV. So I don't know.
Really?
I do
Okay,
a lot of
we'll have a
IGTV.
whole off-camera conversation about that. That is insane.
Yeah,
That's
they ain't hollering at me yet, but
yeah, they definitely are. You just missing the button or something. I don't know. We'll
I'll
figure
be
that
trying
out.
to see. I'll be trying to see, but actually, what's it called? TikTok randomly did it too. It's not as great, but
Like
yeah,
they'll just
I
randomly
both of them
offer
there.
you that option, right?
TikTok.
Yeah, or the different platforms, right? Some
Yeah,
of
I
them.
think that after like TikTok randomly just kind of like there was an alert that said new monetization feature, and you just hook up your account. So
That's awesome.
that's yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
mainly.
YouTube's the most clear about like you have to achieve this to be monetized. I think they're the most clear. Everybody else seems slightly ambiguous. So the reason I say that is because for both of you, because you're monetized, not only are these platforms for you like Ty to book like comedic shows or get more exposure for your audience. For you too, Patrick, I know your fan base is like insane. You have multiple like fan pages. It's like a whole situation. The Cloudy Wives, the Cloudy Village. It'd be a
They're great.
situation,
They're
right?
awesome. Yeah.
They're fantastic. I shout them out regularly. But with that being said, like those are income streams. So how does it feel? Let's say this, because you both have had interesting experiences. What are some of the videos or content violations you've had and the threats you've had and the different platforms they've happened from? Because Ty, yours is nuts. You want to go first or second?
I mean, most of my, because I'm tired.
Right.
Most of my content violations come from the apps that I'm on heaviest, which are TikTok and Instagram. I used to get lots of content violations on Facebook, which is part of the reason why I shifted my focus over to Instagram, especially when it came to the music. So as a radio personality, I literally work in a radio station and music is playing. And I used to appeal and fight all the time and say, I have permission to play this music because this is my job. And sometimes they would be like, okay, and sometimes they wouldn't. But lately, my content violations have been just dumb. I'm currently in Instagram Live Correctional Facility because of what I think is a conversation that I had in my DMs with a friend of mine.
Which is
So
weird.
he literally sent me a picture, like someone's post, like from a blog site of some rapper girl. Sorry, there's a motorcycle going by. Hurry up.
Sons of Anarchy outside your crib.
So he sent me a picture from a blog site of, I don't know this rapper girl's name. I don't know these kids, and her freestyle. And the freestyle had like Kevin Hart's face next to it, kind of looking like crazy, like confused from his special. And then it cut to Joe Budden from his podcast giving his feedback the freestyle. I literally commented, no profanity, because I do use curse words, but for whatever reasons, this conversation didn't warrant it. I literally commented, my face looks just like Kevin's, and I feel the same way Joe does. And instantly got the notification, your content has violated community guidelines. They did not allow the message to be sent through. They put the red X next to it, and then they sent me another notification saying that your account may be deleted. I screenshot it, sent it to my friend to show him what happened. He was going to get the message. I was like, I know they won't let it go through. And anytime I get a content violation, I immediately go to live, and it says your content has been blocked from going live, so no live sharing. And I'm like, all right, fine. So then I trolled Instagram and made all kinds of aggressive videos and reels.
I've never heard of that.
When I did that to them, like a week and a half ago, they blocked my reels. So I would post reels, but my reels would be blacked out on the screen so that people could not see them.
Really?
And so I'm shadow banned on my Instagram account. So like, whereas people would get a notification that I'm going live, or if you have my post notifications on, you don't get them. You just have to casually be on my page, like, oh, Ty's live, and then click it. With TikTok, I don't know what their issue is, because I will get content violations for using sounds and doing lip syncs for these same sounds that other creators of a different hue that are viral for. And I'm like, I literally just used the same sound someone else did. So it's really weird. So like, I'm in Instagram correctional facility right now, put something on my books. If you guys miss me, just holler at me and hopefully I'll be out soon.
I didn't even know about that stuff. You got blocked during the message that you, like, it didn't even send. The message, the DM that you sent was against community guidelines?
Yes.
More like the DM you received. I had never heard of that. And the reason why I think this is absurd is because I have gotten unsolicited dick pics. Like, you should have blocked those, sir, ma'am.
I feel like the DMs is a terrible place. That wasn't even what you said, wasn't even that bad.
Right. And that's the other thing. I was like, since when are they censoring our DMs?
I didn't know that either. But I guess that makes sense.
People didn't know that. And people didn't know that. That's why I made a video showing people, hey, look what happened to me. Because I know a lot of people are like, Ty, you be saying stuff and you be doing stuff. No, like there have been times, because I go live a lot. So when Instagram created the badge feature last year, I was a part of the beta test, because probably I had a small following then. I had like 9,000 followers around May of last year. And because I was always on live, they included me in the beta test for the badges. And everything was fine. And like, okay, you can't play music. Okay, I get that. Excessive profanity, hate speech stuff, I get that. I've literally had my lives cut off while I'm on live because of the content I'm talking about. So when I talk about things that have to deal with race, and I remember one time I was talking about what it would look like if one day brown people woke up and decided, yeah, today's the day.
Right.
And we,
Purge forever style, like, we gonna flip it.
And there were so many people watching the live. I think I had like 100 viewers, which is a lot for me, watching the live. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, they're gonna cut this live off any minute now. And sure enough, like a minute or so later, they cut my live off. And when I tried to go live again, they told me I was blocked from going live.
Wild.
That's crazy.
But if I show these jams and it's hitting me, they probably let it go.
So on that note, because we're going to get to you, Patrick, because I know you've had a few and it's like super wild too. Like, you're like, how can this not be about the color of my skin, right? Is the community violations around skin and nudity, it still blows my mind. I am openly and actively a pole novice. I love to pole dance. It's one of my many forms of fitness. But when I tell you, as a curvy plus size girl, I will get flagged so fast if I wear anything more than like booty shorts and a tank top while I pole dance. But there are huge pole dance communities that have hundreds of thousands of followers, but because they're more like gymnast style, skinny ballerina body styles, they can be virtually naked and not get flagged. It's wild to me. Wow. And the only logic I have behind it is the kind of music I might play or the curve and color of my body. Cause it's like, how are you not getting flagged and I am? It's so wild. So
is it possible that a person is doing this to you guys? Like, I guess not with the DM, but like, is it possible that a person is flagging it, or would it not happen that fast?
No, that's a really good question.
I thought it was a person at first. Like, I literally imagined that there were people sitting in a cubicle looking at different screens of accounts. But I found out during research, because I'm a nerd, that there are certain words that the system picks up, whether they're written or whether you say them, that will trigger it. So like, I will not say this person's name because I don't know what's going to happen. The person that killed Trayvon Martin, if you say something negative about that name, they will immediately snatch your comment down. Even if you type it, they will immediately snatch it down and flag that as inappropriate speech or hate speech or harassment and bullying. So there's certain words that trigger the system. Definitely if you're talking about race, like racism, and it's weird because some stuff, I use the N-word from time to time because I can. And if I N-word it up, I've been muted for N-wording it, but there are white creators on TikTok that will N-word your life to death. Whole video stays. So it feels very much like it's an attack on the Black creators. And if you log on to TikTok, you will see countless videos of creators talking about what happens to them. TikTok released a list of the 100 top TikTokers, and they don't have a single Black woman on that list, and very less Black men.
That's wild. I mean, it seems blatantly obvious, but again, where people are like, oh, we need the data, like, where we get the data at? These companies aren't going to just openly admit that they're blocking content creators of color. So that's just really interesting to me. And Patrick, I never thought of that before. Like, yeah, it could be an individual, and I'd have one specific individual in my life that I'm sure is just over there pressing the report button.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'd hope that they don't have that much power though, because I mean, obviously, there's people making multiple, blank accounts just so that they can. I even heard a story about one person who made 8 different accounts just so that they can use all of them to comment on one person's page or photo or post or whatever it was, and just make it seem like there was a consensus against them, so that other people, because sometimes people just look through the comments and be like, oh, people don't like this, let me jump on, like some people just don't have their own opinions at all.
you're
So
like a professional troller. You got 8 accounts just to make an algorithm of trolling.
listen, I'm not surprised by it.
Like, I do have a burner account. Like, I have a burner. I do have a burner Instagram account, but that account
you the same way.
But that account, now in my defense, that account is for me to follow the accounts that I don't want to follow on my main page, so that I can keep up with stuff. So like CNN and, the different messy blogs and stuff like that. I follow all of those on my burner account.
Why?
I do. Because I don't want it to mess with my analytics under my main account.
Timeline algorithm. That's actually real smart.
And so I don't want to see, like, I look at the Shade Room from time to time just to see what's on there, or like Hollywood Unlocked or something like that. But I don't want to see it on my timeline all day long. Right. So my burner account, I have that. Now, I'm immature. I'm childish. I don't care. I also use my burner account to occasionally, sometimes, look at my ex's page.
And
I just
hilarious.
There it is.
Cat out of bag.
You really put the CNN stuff before that. Like, that wasn't the first reason that made you make that page.
Wasn't. That's just it. That wasn't the
CNN. You let us in with CNN.
Yes, CNN. And here's the thing. I follow like CNN, Baller Alert, the Jasmine Brand, like Fox News, like Deadline. I follow all of these pages, and then I also follow like celebrities that I like. So like I follow Regina King over there, and I follow Cardi B because her lives are hilarious to me and stuff like that. But I don't want to see all of that on my timeline all day long.
Hilarious.
Like, you know what I mean? And also I use my burner account. Let's say Patrick goes live. Let's say Pat goes live, and I love Pat. Pat's my guy. Pat sees me, and Pat's like, oh snap, Todd Davis is in the comments, let me pull her in. And then I could be laying on the couch with my yams out, my hair is not done, and I'll be like, I don't want to decline this live. So I'll go onto his page and watch his live under my burner account.
Oh, with the freedom. Patrick, and he didn't know because the burner account.
I was just an example.
The freedom of not be. I've never seen Pat go live, which is probably why your IGTV, your badges aren't on. But we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, so like I use it for that. But my burner account is for me to. My burner account is where the mess is. So like I follow makeup pages and tutorials and stuff like that. Flood my timeline and explore page with that stuff. But on my actual page, I don't want to see a bunch of mess. So I follow my mental wellness pages and spiritual and stuff like that. That's what I want to see. So I have 2 controlled spaces. But I don't tell anybody what my burner account is because I don't want anybody to know it's me, because that defeats the whole purpose of it being a burner account.
Facts. Okay, well, I do not. I'm gonna be really honest. I have never had the energy to do all of that. I'm just out here being seen in these stories, and hey, you just gonna see me seeing you, seeing me.
I don't have room for a burner
easy
account.
Switch.
Most
it's an easy switch.
What was that?
So it's an easy switch. So like if I want to switch profiles, it's literally I double tap.
Oh, I understand, because I did have another, persona profile for a little second that I dabbled in, but
that's a burner.
It could be a burner, but I just don't use it. We won't even say that here on this platform. because it's just over there dangling in case I ever decide to activate, you know, that personality again in life.
Dangling.
But just dangling over there. But I don't use it, and I don't use it for burner purposes. Like I said, I'm so authentic and out here. Like I want you to see me if I'm here, seeing you, seeing me. So I have no shame in my game. If I like 12 of your pictures in a row, well, I like 12 of your pictures in a row. Okay.
Nice.
I had time and I scrolled. And it's
like. Yeah.
Yes. So Ty, your experience is why we're going to talk about, is it frustrating enough to make you switch platforms? So we're going to get there because obviously it sounds like Patrick doesn't know what fan base is. So we're going to give you an opportunity to tell us all what it is and why you got there. But Patrick, what's been your experience with, like, is it just TikTok? Because I know I've seen you have a struggle with TikTok, but are there other platforms you've had issues with?
Yeah, absolutely. So so first of all, I feel like when it comes to like my battle with censorship and all that stuff, it isn't really like a personal battle for me, because for me it's just like a lot of time I have a lot of wild videos. So if I show a video of a shark biting a person and it gets taken down, like I can technically fight and be like, okay, there's a bunch of other companies that show this stuff all day. Yes, they are white also, but it's also, you know, like that's been a lot of the times, and it's just like for the most part I'll just dismiss it and go about my business. It wasn't really until the Black Lives Matter thing came up, and other creators that I either knew or didn't know, didn't matter, were basically sending me that it was more of a group thing. And I was really upset about this because TikTok invited me to their office. Like I walked through their office, they took me a tour, and like they sat down with me and said that they liked my stuff and they gave me tips on how to use TikTok in a certain way. And I liked it, and I liked the technology. And the biggest thing for me about TikTok is that it is the new thing for young people. It's gigantic. Like that is where the younger audience is. So that's two things. That's a huge, major new audience, and that's a huge responsibility on the app's point of view, you know? So especially when the BLM thing started happening and people started making videos saying that anything had to do with Black Lives Matter, or all these hashtags were literally being either blocked, or, you know, if you used them, you were getting your stuff taken down. I started noticing that a lot of my videos that were harmless were taken down, and I would submit them, but it wasn't enough to make me mad. But then I was getting videos of like painters that were painting like the form of a human body in time lapse, and they were getting their stuff snatched. And it was just like this big like swell of like negative outcry. So it wasn't really just like, oh, give me my videos back. It was me more like, yo, this isn't okay for a number of reasons. So I started going back and forth with TikTok and you know, sort of like spreading awareness on stuff like that. And the cool thing is that, you know, obviously that was just a drop in a big bucket, but a lot of creators are coming out and kind of calling out all of this stuff. The most recent one was someone who literally did an A and B of stuff that had to do with, I don't think it was as extreme as white power, but I think it was like I think it was like white supremacy and stuff like that. And all of that was okay. And then you talked about anything that had to do with like supporting the Black community, and all that stuff was like almost like the same verbiage was canceled. So between, you know, the responsibility of the app itself, and the fact that there's so much bad stuff going on TikTok, and that's the youngest audience. So not only are you teaching that, you know, white creators can go viral making skits that were incredibly racist against Black or Asian people, like those became trends and multiple people were doing them, and then, you know, a Black person could do something very minor, it gets flagged and taken down, like what Ty said. And then there's, you know, the element of stealing. You know, TikTok is completely normalized stealing between dancing or jokes or trends. Like they normalized it to the point where the people who aren't used to social media and they're just jumping in it, they'll just take someone's idea without thinking about it and just be like, oh, it was the trend. And now you're seeing like white creators going viral because they're doing something that they took from a Black person. And that goes all the way back to like Elvis Presley and the Beatles and stuff. For some reason, it's more like digestible for some white people to see the same type of art just transmitted through them. And it's hilarious when it comes down to like white, like dancing and stuff, because you'll see like a white creator like doing like the whoa or something like crazy, and people are like, this is funny because he's white, but then you'll go and go back and there'll be like a whole argument in the comments because the person who created that dance was like a black dude with like 15,000 followers. So he was doing it great and everybody was putting fire emojis, but then when it was kind of copied, it just unlocked this whole new world. And I've seen it like a million times, and it's just now coming to a point where like people are like looking at TikTok like something has to happen, because it's not I'm over the whole thing, like, delete TikTok, don't use it, blah, 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 because we've done that a million times and it just don't work. People stay on for whatever reason. So in my opinion, it needs to be something that goes to the head and it just needs to be changed. If that's where the kids are, if we can get a different app, absolutely. But I'm just over the whole, delete TikTok, blah, 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 because people don't listen to that.
Right. Or like really just like you said, instead of deleting the app, how about we just make them more accountable and give credit to where like they're especially teaching kids now, like plagiarism is a real thing. It's supposed to be punishable by law, right? Like, like teaching young people, like, don't just be stealing people's stuff, right? So there has to be some kind of like way to teach that. But with that being said, Ty, you're frustrated. Like you're getting blocked for who knows what reason. And like at this point, I would say it feels like an attack. Like I said, even me, I have like between all my platforms, less than 30,000 followers. So when like my video would get flagged with the same music in the background or no music, dancing the same way, someone in the same class who's white is dancing. We post the same video, but it's me dancing or her dancing. My video gets flagged, but yours doesn't. What's the only difference here is the color of our skin and how curvy I am and how skinny you are. So I was like, something here is not like, vibing. Or maybe a certain ex is being a stupid face. I don't know. But for Ty, like you are frustrated to the point where you're like, you possibly jumping ship. So you have found a new platform that is Black owned, that you're like, I think I'm going to invest my creative efforts here. So you had mentioned Fanbase. I have also gotten an invite to Fanbase a few months ago. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. But I'm going to be real. I'm so lazy. Like with all social media, like it's just a lot. TikTok is fire, but I'm gonna be honest, Patrick, you're smarter than me when it comes to technology. That's your ministry. Like I have done 3 TikToks and I tell you, I was so confused. I have not figured it out yet. I'm gonna have to do a whole YouTube tutorial or something. I'll get there, friends. Okay. But in regards to that, Ty, you're like, I found a new platform that might work better for me. It sounds kind of like a YouTube meets an Instagram meets a Patreon.
It is very much Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and Clubhouse have met, and it's beautiful. And I only found out about it. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Is it Black owned?
It is Black owned. It's owned by Isaac Hayes III. And a lot of people started to share it with me, started to say, hey, go sign up for this, when I started to vocalize the issues that I was having with content violations. And I went and checked it out. And for me, I like convenience. I am not the most tech savvy person. I don't know how to work the computer phone, child. I need it all to make sense. I don't know how to work it. And everyone was like, oh, just join a Patreon. But the thought of me joining a Patreon means I have to create this account and then I have to put content over there. And then I got to go over here and it's too much. Literally, Fanbase allows you to have your subscribers and your followers in the same place. I've been on the app probably a little over a week and a half now. I've already started to monetize. So people, it looks like Instagram. It looks like Instagram, how the layout is. You can do live broadcasts, you can do stories, you have audio chat rooms, which is just like Clubhouse, and all of that is in one. And then my followers can see this. And then if there are people who want to subscribe to my page, they can, and they will be able to see the exclusive content that's there. If you want to like my post, you can like my post for free. But if you want to love it, you can buy love packs. And you can literally buy 100 loves for a creator's content for 99 cents. Now, the revenue share is a little different than what it is for, like YouTube and stuff. Usually it's 70-30. With Fanbase, it's 50-50, and it's a fairly new app. And the creator of that app got a lot of the fundraising for his app through Clubhouse, because Clubhouse was a thing for like a good 6 months. And then Outside opened and we was like, what? and we going back outside because I was on it all the time. But yeah, and my experience with it so far is great. I mean, with anything new, you know, there's some kinks and some bugs that they need to work out. You don't need an invitation to get on it like you did with Clubhouse. And the Android release for Fanbase will be on July the 29th. So Android users will be able to join Fanbase then. And
by the time we air this episode will have already happened. So friends, get over it.
So like it is my goal and it is my hope to migrate part of my following over to Fanbase, because I didn't realize, first of all, if I wasn't an entertainer, if I wasn't a stand-up comedian, writer, actress, or anything, I would not be on any of this stuff. Like I might happen to be like, oh, look, my friend from high school said hi. But other than that, I wouldn't be on it. So I use it as a marketing tool and for me to gain my audience and build my brand. And that's why I'm like, because I really feel like any day now, Instagram is going to take my account. And I've already said, I am not fighting. I'm not appealing. If they take my account, those 38,000 followers, I've already been grooming them. This is where you can find me. I'm going to be over here.
They take 50%? They take half?
50-50. Yep. So like, so if essentially if somebody buys a subscription, or if they buy a love pack, which is $1, I get 50 cents, which I'm cool with that. Cause I'm like, I don't even have to put pants on to create content sometimes. Like I can just stay in the house and do that. And you want to take half? Sure. I'm using your stuff. You're showing my stuff. All right, fine. I don't care. So yeah, but it's 50-50.
A lot of people don't know those breakdowns either. So like, I know like a lot of people aren't aware. I know, Patrick, you have a Patreon too, but like, what's the difference between Patreon or YouTube or OnlyFans? OnlyFans actually has a better pay rate for their non-adult content than Patreon. A lot of people don't realize that. But for their adult content, which they're more well-known for, it is 20%. But the benefit to that platform is there is literally no music restriction. There's no restrictions. You just out there doing your adult, like, you know, or whatever. So on their adult side, there's literally no restrictions. So I know some people have went there just for that allure. Like there's no restrictions. I can make my content however I want. I post it, my subscribers pay for it, and we're out of here. Whereas Patreon, I think takes somewhere between like 6 and 12%, depending on like whatever tier you're at or something like that. But I mean, either way, it's a good way to put your stuff behind paywalls, because yes, a lot of people don't realize, for you guys, like, you know, Patrick, you have a huge following. That's giving your creations away, and that takes time and money to make those videos. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people don't understand that. So of course you want to monetize and find a way to make that, you know, sustainable. Like how do, you know, I know you guys know you're in the comedian world. Like everybody's always asking, like comedians, like for more skits and make the funnies and whatever. And you're like, hey, that takes time and money and coordination. Like, okay. So yeah. Have you thought about it, Patrick? Like, are you like with TikTok getting like pulled and stuff? Have you ever considered like just giving up on TikTok? Like, hey, I'm over this.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, all the time. But I mean, not so much anymore. I've completely changed my mindset, because I have a different relationship with some of these companies in a way that I talk to them, and I think that for me, I kind of like, I see the audacity of the racial side of it, and I fight for it when I can. Like I said, it didn't become a big issue until I started noticing that other Black creators were going through it. With me, I navigate social media the same way I navigate real life as a Black man, and that's like, you kind of like, you know what's up. And it's like, you can either be upset at every turn and hint of racism, or you can kind of brush it up. Like I said, like, it's not about delete TikTok. I'd rather talk to them and get them to change it. It's like, if you guys don't like Black people, fine, but make the app so it's like in a way so that Black creators aren't penalized or held back. And we're just seeing like these, you know, and it sucks because we're so frustrated about this. It makes it seem like we're upset and hating on the white creators, and because when they come up, it's like you're letting all these white people blah 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 blah, and it sounds negative, but it's just because it's coming from frustration, because oftentimes we're either doing the same thing or that thing first, and they just don't realize that their threshold or their glass ceiling is just a lot weaker. So when they shoot through the roof and go viral, it's not because they're luckier or because they're better. There is actual proof that there's technology in the platform that is causing for that or pushing for that. And it's universal. And it's like, I would just be fighting every company that I talk to if that were the case. It's just like, at this point, I kind of have that like, yeah, okay, cool. You're racist. Let's talk about this. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get things done, because I can't just be upset every time that's just the world we live in. So like, even when we were talking about music violations, I just don't even touch that. I know that there are ways to get around it and blah, 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 blah. But you know the deal. It's like when we interact with the cops or in a market, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's some things that some people would prank a cop and be like, ah, ha, ha. I'm not even going to touch it. I know what it is. And it's just like, we have to live our lives in a certain way where it's like, do you really even want that smoke right now? Do you even want that issue or that headache right now? No. All right. So cool. And I found that thinking that way oftentimes disarms the other person on a lower level, because they obviously think that the racism is going to crumble you. So if you're just like, yeah, okay, for sure. But then it's almost just like, oh, you know, it's I just think that it's a smarter way to think about it. And I feel like I'll get a lot more done if I'm not just upset at every person who doesn't like a brown person, because it's just like, there's a lot of them out there. So that's the reality.
Well, I think you're being effective about it, because I know there's an art to, you know, speaking comedically about racism, and you've done it. Listen, like, some of my favorite videos of yours are like of Black Lives Matters, and like, I don't know, whatever, you're wearing the little helmet and the guns and the shooting, and like, listen, I've reposted those like 100 times. It's so funny. Thank you. And as a biracial woman whose family is white, listen, I thought I was going to get everything flagged off Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, because I just let my family have it listen, you know, I just outed my family and the world, and social media was the platform to make like this therapeutic space to be like, hey, I'm calling all racists out, including my own family members. Like, I have no threshold for it. I made all these videos about like, why wouldn't I be okay with your Make America Great Again hat? Why? Because my cousins decided they wanted to post pictures wearing theirs. And I'm like, I'm not okay with this. And I'm gonna tell you why, you know? But oddly enough, they stayed up. And like you, Patrick, I think it was like, oh, because she speaks articulately, and oh, I have a whole platform that established like this whole like stance and this podium that I'm on and this soapbox. Like, they're up and they still have tons of views. It's actually some of the stuff that I have viewed the most, because weirdly enough, it was like my white liberal friends who were like, yeah, people need to hear that, you know? And because I'm not screaming at you and like cussing, like, people were listening. Right. So I think, you know, use your strategy. I don't think there's a wrong strategy, because I'm also low key, like, you know, militant like Malcolm X on some days where I really do just want to like flip all the tables in the temple. But, you know, like, somebody like, look, but I think you both have been brilliant. Thank you for sharing your opportunities. I just wanted to end with saying, and maybe Ty, if the CEOs of these platforms were watching, what would you want to say to them?
Let me out of Instagram deal. What I would say is that instead of being dismissive of a group of people, you're hearing enough of these complaints or, you know, concerns or questions from your users. Listen, I mean, just as a Black woman, you know, and I've been a Black woman like my whole life, like the whole time, like, we are already conditioned to be in a position where we are not heard and we are not seen and we're dismissed. So just take some time and just listen, because Black culture drives forward everything. If you really got rid of all of us, this place wouldn't be as fun. So just take the time to listen to your subscribers and listen to your youth. And you are people that are sitting in boardrooms and you're sitting behind TVs and stuff like that. We are using this technology every day. We have a firsthand knowledge of what it is that's going on. So help us to help you, like, make it better. So just listen and let me out of Facebook and Instagram chat, please. I need to make money.
Free Ty.
Please.
Free Ty. Get out of Instagram jail. Instagram Live, Instagram Reels jail. But I mean, Patrick, you just told us you really have had conversations with these people. Some of them, I say.
Yeah, I mean,
slightly, but...
TikTok is coming up. Hopefully, I mean, to my knowledge, I have a meeting, but who knows? What I would say is pretty much like it's time to have a broader conversation. The way that I was able to say, like, all right, let's forget the racism for a second and let's think about the platform, because I know that these companies' love for money and success has to be a little bit, even by a tinge, more than their love for racism. So it's like, if it's been too long, and it's like there's so many industries that were built off of stolen ideas, like music and fashion, whatever. Like it's been swept under the rug and like ignored for so long, but it's just not like that anymore. Social media changed. Like if George Washington Carver had Twitter, he would have kept peanut butter. Like the fact that we're able to have a voice and spread it to everybody and be like, look what they did to me, is very much powerful in terms of, plagiarism, saving our lives when stuff happens like face to face. Like it's become so important. So it's like, okay, if you guys can't really hide behind the fact that, plagiarism of ideas and racism and blocking creators, if you guys can't hide behind that anymore, then let's make I can talk to these people, or not even me, somebody can talk to these people and make a better business model that would include Black creators and brown creators, and obviously I'm talking about all minorities, and it would do way better. And it's so crazy to me, like the film industry and all these industries just would never like take a bet, like a Black movie would never sell, blah blah blah, and then they dropped it and they're like, oh, it's the biggest movie ever. So like it's so weird that everybody is just like, no, this could never at every level. And it's just like, okay, at this point, you can't hide behind it anymore. Let's have the conversation and see how much it booms. And I think that's why they won't, because they're afraid to see how much it would boom if they actually included it, which is dumb because that goes against their money thing. But it's time to have that conversation because we have Twitter now.
Right. Well, thank you so much. You both contribute so much to the conversation. I'm sure you're not alone. So if you are a content creator of color and you're watching, please leave a comment. We want to know what your experience is. If you have a solution, I would love to hear your solutions more than just your problems, because if you have a solution, I'm willing to help highlight it. I'm sure these two lovely content creators would like to highlight it. But also don't forget to subscribe and like to TiffTalk TV and turn on those notifications for the next episode of Taboo Talks. We will be here next time.